This is the story of how an inaccessible 4-acre parcel of land, fringed by river, road and railway, lost its brand as Bitey Horsefield and is being transformed into Frome Community Woodland. The owners had struggled for years with uninvited fly grazers and turned to FTC with an offer for the council to lease the land for 99 years, with no rent payments if it could be turned into a space for the community. Meanwhile, a local family were crowdfunding to raise money to create a memorial space for Moko Sellars, a Frome resident who lost her fight to cancer. When they approached the council with an idea, a partnership and a plan formed. The earliest steps involved ploughing the overgrown site so that these beautiful Shire horses could be brought in to seed the field with wildflower, using traditional methods, and to invite the community to watch and start to be involved in the site's development. The site was then entrusted to the ranger team to begin preparation for over 300 metres of new path and galvanising an army of volunteers to rid the site of decades of fly-tipped rubbish and barbed wire. Trees and thick bramble patches were removed to improve access to the site. Then, on a sunny, frosty morning in January, materials, machinery and volunteers were deployed to start work on the path. Battling mud and uneven ground, over 200 tons of material was moved across the site and the path took shape. Until the rain. It didn't stop for over a month, and we saw twice the average rainfall turn the field into an unworkable quagmire. Progress on the path halted, and breath was held to see if the site would dry in time for planting. While the heavens wet the land, the trees were delivered. 2,500 of 6 different species, chosen by Seed Landscape Design, headed by James Hamilton, family friend of Moko and crowdfund manager, who used his landscape design background to devise the planting plan, to include glades, rides and riverside glimpses. To start, the volunteer rangers once again showed their mettle and colour-coded 4,000 stakes in an hour and a half. These stakes were deployed by James and his team to site to mark where each tree would be planted and to divide the site into 142 10-metre squares to make the planting easier to coordinate. Monday, 2nd of March. The rain stopped and the volunteers arrived. Over 600 volunteers from various community groups, nurseries, schools, individuals, FTC staff and volunteer rangers to plant oak, hornbeam, field maple, goat willow, alder, black poplar and an additional 1,000 whips to create new hedgerow on the field boundaries. The Lorax visited. Some of the volunteers became too tunnel visioned with their digging, and at week's end the whole site was planted. Alongside the bustling work, friends and family of Moko planted a wishing tree in memory of her, a silver birch, which was covered in cherished memories using seeded paper. As the paper disappears in the rain, the seeds will fall to the ground and grow into wild flowers. Each planted square was assigned a what 3 words coordinate, so that in the future people will be able to use them to find the trees they planted. As people dwelt on site, they were also asked their thoughts on future play installations to encourage the wood as a place to spend time and linger. A place now for peaceful reflection. This once overgrown, neglected site will now support the needs of climate and ecology. A new woodland to provide shelter, habitat and space for nature to thrive alongside the people of Frome, who can one day tell their grandchildren the story of its trees.